today marks the end of November, which means we are proceeding into December, a new month, which means a whole bunch of new movies. So, I thought it'd be fun if we looked at some of the big upcoming movies, talked about them, and then gave our ranking for our top 5 most anticipated of December. Now, these aren't every single movie that's coming out in December. That would take way too long to get through. These are just the big standouts. These are the big tentpole ones. And without further ado, let's get into this. And starting off, we've got December 2nd. Coming out December 2nd, we've got Sir on Netflix, a documentary about Robert Downey Jr. paying tribute to his late father, chronicling the life and eccentric career of the pioneering filmmaker of Robert Downey Sr. I think this looks like a very sweet, nice documentary. Robert Downey Jr. honoring his father, paying tribute, and I honestly... I don't know anything about Robert Downey Jr. Sr., so I'm looking forward to learning about him in this documentary through the eyes of his son. Also on December 2nd, guys, and I know a lot of you guys are excited for this one. We've got David Harbour in Violent Night. Santa Claus taking on some mercenaries. When a group of mercenaries attack the estate of a wealthy family, Santa Claus must step in to save the day and Christmas. The trailer for this thing looks absolutely bonkers. It looks absolutely ridiculous, and I am here for it. It looks like so much fun. It's like Die Hard meets Home Alone with Santa Claus in there. I think it looks fantastic. The reviews have been coming out today. I've been seeing some. It sounds like it's as fun of a time as I want it to be. So on December 2nd, definitely look out for Sir on Netflix and Violent Night. Coming up next on December 9th, we've got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio coming out on Netflix, a dark, twisted retelling of the famous Carlo Collodi fairy tale about the wooden puppet who dreams of becoming a real boy. When Pinocchio comes to life, he turns out not to be that nice of a boy, creating mischief and playing mean tricks. He eventually learns a few lessons. Also coming out on December 9th, on Apple TV, we got Emancipation, based on the true story of a runaway slave aiming to reach the Union Army and his only chance at freedom. And this is kind of like the return of Will Smith. I don't know if you want to call it the return of Will Smith from the Oscar situation that happened at the last year's Oscars. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, I watched the trailer a couple days ago. It looks so much better than the Disney Pinocchio that they released on Disney Plus. And I'm not even a hater of the Disney Plus Pinocchio. I actually enjoyed the film. I didn't understand all the hate that it was getting. I found charm. I thought it was kind of endearing. But this Pinocchio, the trailer for this looks great. I love the stop motion animation that Guillermo del Toro is doing. It feels like it has a lot of heart, and I'm really anticipating checking this out. I think it's going to be awesome. And Emancipation with Will Smith, I watched the trailer for that too. Looks kind of heavy, but also looks real emotional. Looks great. Will Smith looks great in it. Unfortunately, he's banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years, I guess. Or I think he's only banned for attending, so maybe he can get nominated for this. Definitely looks like a project that he could get nominated for, but on December 9th, guys, definitely keep your eyes open for Pinocchio and Emancipation. All right, coming up next on December 16th, and this is kind of the only game in town, we've got Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, I've had my criticisms about the way that they've marketed this movie. I think the trailers have been poor. I think they've banked too much on people's nostalgia or their thoughts of people having nostalgia for Pandora, for these characters. If you can name two characters' names in this movie, then you get a high five. I can only remember Jake. And but I'm still really looking forward to this movie. The trailers do look very impressive technologically speaking. I think the 3D sequences, I saw some 3D sequences when I went to go see Wakanda Forever when the trailer played. It looked phenomenal. This is the one movie I'm actually going to seek out to see in 3D. I have faith in James Cameron. He's a great filmmaker. I'm sure he's delivering something exhilarating and thrilling and fun with this. But, you know, there's also that worry of, is James Cameron being too indulgent in his own creative mind, that he thinks he's the greatest creative out there, that this is the be-all, end-all for movies, and will it actually suck? Will I not connect to it? I don't know. But on December 16th, there's no denying that Avatar: The Way of Water is going to be a big one. All right, guys, coming up next on December 21st, also one of the only games in town, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Puss in Boots discovers that his passion for adventure has taken its toll. He has burned through 8 of his 9 lives, Puss sets out on an epic journey to find the mythical last wish and restore his 9 lives. Now, we talked about this earlier on in the show, guys. I was not looking forward to this at all. It was completely off my radar. I was just going to let it pass by, breeze by, wasn't going to think about it, didn't care, don't care, couldn't care less. And then all the reactions came out, all the fan reactions from the advanced screening came out. The critics on the Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%. 92% of the critics at least liked it. So now you've got me kind of curious. I'm anticipating this. I'm curious to see what they've cooked up. I did enjoy the film from 2011, the first Puss in Boots movie. I love the Shrek films, obviously. So this is something to look for out now on December 21st. All right, guys, moving on next to December, or that was December 21st. So moving on next to December 23rd. We've got Babylon, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and please let this be the time I get to watch it. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery coming to Netflix. Babylon is a tale of an outsized proportion, or outsized... Babylon is a tale of outsized ambition and outrageous excess. It traces the rise and fall of multiple characters during an era of unbridled decency and depravity in early Hollywood. Moving on to I Want to Dance with Somebody, the joyous, emotional, heartbreaking celebration of the life and music of Whitney Houston, one of the greatest female R&B pop vocalists of all time, tracking her journey from obscurity to musical stardom. And finally, Glass Onion and Knives Out coming out on Netflix December 23rd. Famed Southern detective Benoit Blanc travels to Greece for his latest case. Obviously, Babylon's a huge one. That's Damien Chazelle. I can't remember how to say his name. That's his new movie. That's a big hit. I Want to Dance with Somebody. I like a good biopic, especially about a musical artist. I always learn something new about them and get introduced to new music along the way. So looking forward to checking that out. And of course, Knives Out. Glass Onion. I cannot wait to see this movie. I've been waiting. It feels like ages to see this movie. It didn't come to theaters in my section of Canada, so I gotta wait till Netflix, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. Moving on, guys. This is ending out the month on December 25th to the 30th. We've got Matilda the Musical coming out on Netflix. We've got a movie called Woman Talking. A group of women in an isolated religious colony struggle to reconcile their faith with a series of sexual assaults committed by the colony's men. That's coming out on Christmas Day. Sounds like a very Merry Christmas movie to be watching during the holidays. And finally, on December 30th, we've got White Noise coming out on Netflix. Jack Gladney is the world expert on Hitler studies. He's afraid of death. His wife, Babette, is also afraid of death. In this black comedy, Jack must deal with death, airborne toxic events, mysterious pills, and the strange complexities that make up life. And that, guys, there is the rundown for some of the bigger movies out there coming out in December. And now that we've gone through all those movies, guys, let's give our top 5 most anticipated for the month of this December. And coming in for me at number 5, it was not number 5. Let me tell you guys, this was not number 5 when I first had it on here. Actually, at number 5 before this was Babylon. But now that we've had all these reactions come out, my number 5 is Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. I can't help it. I'm curious. I got to see what all the hype's about. I got to see what they did with this. I do love the character of Puss in Boots. I love the Shrek films. It sounds like this really hits what made the Shrek films special. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they've cooked up for Puss in Boots, and he comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 for my most anticipated is going to be Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Like I said, the trailers for this were great. They were epic, and they seemed so emotional. They had a lot of heart. The animation, the stop motion looked great. It's coming to Netflix, so I can just watch it at home. Kind of wish I could see this in the theater, but really looking forward to seeing what Guillermo del Toro's done with his interpretation of Pinocchio. Coming in at number 3, guys, is going to be Violent Night. I think this looks like a hoot. I think this looks like so much fun. David Harbour as Santa Claus kicking butt on a bunch of mercenaries. The action in the trailers look like a lot of fun. The gore, the violence. I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, I might do a double feature. I might watch Violent Night and then go and watch The Mean One and have a double feature of violent Christmas movies. That sounds like a good time. A very Merry Christmas. Coming in at number 2, guys, and this one got moved down. Avatar: The Way of Water. I know this is going to be lower for quite a few people. I'm still anticipating this movie, despite my problems with the trailers. I still hope that this movie pulls off an epic tale. I hope that it's expansive in the big screen movie theater. I hope it looks gorgeous. I hope it's fun. I hope the technology blows me away. I have high hopes for Avatar: The Way of Water, and for that reason, it comes in at number 2. And finally, at number 1, and please let this be the last time that I have to put this at number 1, is Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. A lot of people out there, they've been lucky enough. They got this in theaters for a week. They've already seen this thing. They're loving this thing. I've seen the reviews. It sounds great. Just give it to me. I've been waiting what feels like forever to get this movie. I'm so excited to check this out. I love the first Knives Out. The trailers for this look great. All the reviews, all the hype that I'm hearing makes it sound like it's great. I cannot wait to check this out. Unfortunately, I'm going to be checking it out on Netflix, not on the big screen, but nonetheless, cannot wait for this murder mystery from Rian Johnson. For that reason, it's coming in at number 1. Now I want to hear from you guys. What are you most anticipating for the month of December? Is it something I didn't even mention on here? Are you anticipating the mean one the most? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on your most anticipated of December, guys. And with all that out of the way, let's take a look at what you guys are saying.